Good afternoon and welcome to 12 News First Edition. I'm Gretchen Ross. Thank you for joining us this Tuesday. We start this afternoon with headlines out of Marion County. A man who served with the Fairmont Police Department for more than 28 years has died. An obituary says Theodore Ted Offit died Sunday. Offit served in many roles with the Fairmont Police Department, including patrolman, detective, and eventually chief. He retired as chief in 2004. Offit then became director of the Marion County Community Corrections Day Report Center for more than 7 years until he retired from that post back in March. Offit was 64 years old. State police and Philippi police have arrested a man on drug charges. Philippi police say a confidential informant tipped them off about the sale of marijuana by Xavier Anderson. Police say they got a search warrant for Anderson's home and found a stolen gun. 2 bags believed to contain marijuana, scales, pipes, and bongs. Troopers say a short time later they stopped a vehicle where Anderson was a passenger. They say the driver told them Anderson gave him marijuana in exchange for a ride. Anderson is charged with possession with intent to deliver and possession of a controlled substance. Turning to Upshur County now, deputies there arrested a man on drug charges. Deputies say they made a traffic stop on Caleb Doherty and learned he was wanted in Lewis County. Deputies say they then found bags of meth, Percocet pills, LSD, and cash in the vehicle, along with a handgun on Doherty. Doherty is charged with possession with intent to deliver Percocet and meth, conspiracy, and a weapons charge. He's in the Tigard Valley Regional Jail. A judge has sentenced a Randolph County man on drug charges. The U.S. Attorney's Office says a 36-year-old Jerry Hartley of Elkins will spend 20 years in prison for distributing meth. Hartley was arrested last October along with 24 other people in a federal drug and gun bust. The office says the group conspired to run a meth ring in the region. Back in April, Hartley pleaded guilty to conspiracy to distribute meth, saying he worked with other people to deal more than 500 grams of meth. And latest developments now, a Florida judge has sentenced a Buchanan woman for hindering a federal kidnapping and murder investigation. 57-year-old Belinda Sandy will spend 7 years and 3 months in prison for obstruction. Sandy pleaded guilty to the charge back in May. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Sandy helped Jarvis Madison evade law enforcement and aided him in his travel to Florida to kill a woman. Madison is charged with kidnapping resulting in death, interstate domestic violence, and interstate stalking. He will stand trial in the March 2018 term of court. A truck driver says he is lucky to be alive thanks to Good Samaritans on the interstate. Take a look at this. Randy White says he was driving north on I-79 from Texas when his tires caught fire because of the brakes. This happened around 11 o'clock this morning near mile marker 140. White says he didn't know what was happening until several drivers got his attention to pull over. White jumped out with his dogs and tried with the help of others to put out the fire. He says he's thankful for everyone who helped, especially a woman who took care of his dogs.
I mean, it's the best feeling ever, man. I mean, like, these people are great. I mean, they didn't have to stop and help anybody. They didn't have to do anything. They could have just drove on past, and they didn't. They chose to stop and help me, and, you know, they definitely saved my dog's life, and they definitely, you know, made my life a lot easier today.
The stop-and-go traffic caused another accident where a JanCare ambulance rear-ended another vehicle. No one was hurt in that incident. Last Thursday, a Glenville State student was killed in a vehicle accident in Glenville, and tonight his school will honor him. 19-year-old Jonathan Natsafilipi was a sophomore at Glenville State. School officials say they chose the football stadium to hold tonight's event for a good reason.
So I think it was kind of in tribute to that, to the part that he played with the football team, and it just seemed like the right venue.
The memorial event will get underway at 8 o'clock tonight at Glenville State's Morris Stadium. The public is invited to attend. We will have a reporter at the event, and we'll have an update for you coming up at 11. In world news now, the Japanese government's J Alert system was activated today, prompting warnings for residents to take cover. This after North Korea fired a ballistic missile over the country and into the sea. Experts say the test appeared to have been of a recently developed intermediate-range missile. According to Japan's chief cabinet secretary, the missile was fired around 6 o'clock in the morning local time, flew over the northernmost main island, Hokkaido, and fell into waters about 730 miles to the east of Cape Irmo. The latest out of Houston, President Trump traveled to Texas today to get a first-hand look at the devastation caused by Hurricane Harvey. The scope of the disaster is unprecedented, with thousands of people displaced by rising
Many
floodwaters.
communities in the state are trying to revitalize the local economy, and we'll check in with one of them and find out how things are progressing. That's next on 12 News First Edition. Here now with how the weather's progressing for this week, meteorologist Sean Householder.